Every man carries a battle within, an unspoken war, fought not with weapons, but with thoughts, doubts, and expectations. It's a conflict few acknowledge, yet it shapes every decision, every action, and every outcome. It's the silent tug of war between who you are and who you've been told to be, between your deepest truths and the masks you wear to fit in. It is not a battle against the world, but against the invisible forces within you that dictate how you show up in that world. Imagine your mind as a battlefield littered with the remnants of old beliefs, societal pressures, and the echoes of voices telling you what you should or shouldn't be. On this battlefield, two forces clash. One seeks to hold you back, to keep you small and compliant, tethered to comfort and the illusion of safety. The other is the voice of your authentic self, yearning to break free, to lead with strength, and to live unapologetically aligned with your truth. The outcome of this war determines the course of your life, whether you rise as a master of your reality or remain a captive of unchallenged patterns. This book is your guide through that war. It will not offer shortcuts or false reassurances. Instead, it will arm you with timeless wisdom and actionable strategies to confront the forces that hold you back, and to cultivate the resilience, focus, and courage to reclaim your power. Each chapter delves into a critical aspect of the silent battle, blending practical insights with symbolic narratives that resonate deeply. Together, they form a map to navigate the terrain of inner conflict and emerge victorious. This journey isn't for the faint of heart. It requires a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths and to take ownership of your growth. But if you're ready, if you're tired of living half a life and are prepared to face the silent battle within, you will discover a version of yourself you may have forgotten existed. A man of strength, clarity, and authenticity. A man who commands his reality instead of being shaped by it. The time has come to step onto the battlefield, not with fear but with purpose. This is your call to arms. Chapter 1: The Masks We Wear, Identifying the False Selves. Life often feels like a stage, and each man is both an actor and an audience. From an early age, you're handed masks, roles to play, expectations to fulfill, identities to embody. Each mask is a reflection of what the world demands, yet over time, the lines between these masks and your true self blur. You become so accustomed to wearing them that you forget who you are beneath them. These masks might help you fit in, but they also distance you from your authenticity, leaving you fragmented and disconnected. Picture yourself in a crowded room, donning a different mask for each interaction. There's the stoic mask for moments of pressure, the agreeable mask to avoid conflict, and the confident mask to conceal insecurity. Yet beneath them all lies the same truth. The man you truly are remains hidden, suffocating under the weight of these performances. This is the cost of living behind masks. They protect you from judgment but rob you of freedom. But what if you stripped them away? What if you dared to stand bare, unfiltered, and whole? The journey to inner strength begins here, with the courage to remove these masks and confront the raw, unvarnished self beneath. The masks you wear didn't appear overnight. They were molded by years of conditioning, shaped by the opinions of others, and reinforced by a society that rewards conformity over authenticity. Perhaps as a child, you were told to toughen up when you cried, so you learned to suppress vulnerability. Maybe as a teenager, you discovered that being agreeable earned approval, so you silenced your opinions to keep the peace. These small compromises, repeated over time, created layers of false identities. Wearing these masks often feels necessary. They shield you from criticism and help you navigate social expectations, yet with every mask you wear, you lose sight of who you truly are. The danger lies in forgetting which parts of you are real and which are constructed. When you define yourself by external validation, your sense of worth becomes fragile, easily shattered by rejection or failure. True freedom lies in authenticity. To claim it, you must first recognize the masks you wear and understand why you chose them. This requires radical honesty, a willingness to ask hard questions and confront uncomfortable truths. Who are you when no one is watching? What beliefs and behaviors feel natural versus forced? The answers to these questions are the first steps toward dismantling the false selves that have confined you. Removing the masks is not without risk. You may fear judgment, vulnerability, or the loss of relationships built on those masks. But consider the alternative: a life lived in fragments, where you're never truly seen or understood. By reclaiming your authenticity, you gain something far greater: the ability to lead a life aligned with your values, driven by your truth, and free from the weight of others' expectations. Authenticity is not about rejecting all external roles. It's about integrating them into a cohesive identity that reflects who you are at your core. A man who knows himself and stands unapologetically in his truth commands respect, not because he seeks it, but because his presence demands it. This is the power of shedding the masks. It liberates you to live fully, connect deeply, and lead boldly. Imagine standing before a mirror and peeling away each mask one by one. What remains is not a lesser version of you, but a purer one. A man untethered from pretense, rooted in his essence. The process of removing these masks may be uncomfortable, even painful, but it is also transformative. It strips away the noise and reveals the clarity and strength within. Now ask yourself, what masks do you wear and why? Which roles feel like a burden and which align with your truth? The answers will guide you to your first act of courage, removing a mask that no longer serves you. Authenticity is a muscle that grows stronger with use. Begin small. Choose one situation this week where you'll show up without a mask. Whether it's expressing a vulnerable thought, standing firm in your beliefs, or simply being present as your unfiltered self, this is your first step toward liberation, a reclaiming of the man beneath the roles. Take it. Chapter 2: The Burden of Expectations, Breaking Free from External Pressures. Imagine walking a path through a dense forest, but each step you take is hindered by a heavy pack on your shoulders. This pack contains everything others have placed upon you: their hopes, judgments, and demands. These expectations, while often well-intentioned, weigh you down, slowing your progress and clouding your vision. You may have carried them for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to walk freely. Society, family, friends, each imposes their own version of who you should be. These expectations shape your decisions, your beliefs, and even your identity. Yet, the more you cater to them, the further you drift from the path that is uniquely yours. The weight of living for others steals your energy and your freedom. If you wish to command your reality, you must first lighten the load by discerning which expectations serve you and which ones you've outgrown. The forest is vast, and the journey is yours alone. Are you willing to drop the unnecessary burdens and walk lighter, stronger, and with purpose? The burden of expectations begins early. As children, we learn that meeting the standards of authority figures earns approval, while deviating invites criticism. This lesson, though subtle, becomes ingrained. Over time, the desire to please and conform morphs into a fear of rejection and failure. You start to prioritize external validation over internal alignment, allowing the world's demands to dictate your choices. Consider how these expectations manifest. They might be career paths chosen to satisfy parental aspirations, relationships maintained to avoid disappointing others, or behaviors adopted to blend into societal norms. While meeting expectations can create temporary harmony, it often comes at a steep cost: your authenticity and fulfillment. The deeper truth is this: no one can define your life but you, and living for others is a path to quiet despair. Breaking free from this burden requires clarity and courage. Start by identifying the sources of the expectations you carry. Are they rooted in your values, or are they relics of someone else's vision for your life? For example, a man who pursues a high-paying job solely to gain social approval may find himself unfulfilled despite material success. Similarly, one who avoids conflict to meet others' expectations of agreeableness may suppress his true thoughts, weakening his sense of self. Once you recognize these patterns, The next step is reclaiming your autonomy. This doesn't mean rejecting every external influence, but evaluating which align with your core principles and which do not. Setting boundaries is crucial. It's not your responsibility to meet everyone's expectations, nor is it possible. Instead, your duty is to define your own path, guided by your vision, values, and purpose. This process is not without resistance. Breaking free from expectations may provoke guilt, discomfort, or even conflict. Those who benefit from your compliance may push back, fearing the loss of control. However, the discomfort of disappointing others pales in comparison to the regret of living a life that isn't yours. True strength lies in standing firm, even when it's uncomfortable. Freedom from external pressures also requires shifting your focus from validation to alignment. Validation seeks approval from others, while alignment seeks congruence with your inner truth. When your actions align with your values, you cultivate a deep sense of fulfillment and confidence that no external approval can replicate. The path of authenticity isn't easy, but it is necessary for self-mastery. As you shed the weight of expectations, you'll find your steps growing lighter, your vision clearer, and your direction more certain. Each burden you release brings you closer to the life you're meant to lead, a life dictated by purpose, not pressure. Picture yourself standing on that forest path, the pack of expectations on your shoulders growing heavier with each step. Now imagine setting it down, feeling the weight lift and breathing deeply for the first time in years. The journey ahead is still challenging, but now it's yours, unburdened, purposeful, and free. Take a moment to reflect. Which expectations weigh you down the most? Are they serving your growth, or are they holding you back? Identify one expectation, whether from society, family, or even yourself, that no longer aligns with your values. This week, take a deliberate step to release it, whether by setting a boundary, saying no, or simply acknowledging that it no longer serves you. Walking lighter doesn't mean walking alone. It means walking authentically, free to explore the path that was always meant for you. Let go of the unnecessary and reclaim the strength to move forward unencumbered and unstoppable. The forest opens and the path is yours. Will you take it? Chapter 3: Inner Saboteurs, Overcoming Self-Inflicted Battles. Imagine standing on the edge of a battlefield, surveying the chaos. The enemy is cunning, relentless, and knows your every weakness. But here's the twist. The enemy is you. Your own mind, its doubts, fears, and relentless criticisms, wages war from within. These inner saboteurs often disguise themselves as protectors, convincing you that their doubts keep you safe from failure or rejection. Yet in reality, they undermine your confidence, stall your progress, and quietly erode your potential. The battle against external challenges pales in comparison to the war within. Victory here isn't achieved through force or denial. It's earned by confronting these saboteurs, understanding their origins, and transforming them into allies. This isn't a fight you win by avoiding conflict. It's a fight you win by embracing it. The inner saboteurs are not strangers. They are the voices you've lived with your entire life. They whisper doubts before every opportunity, amplify fear before every leap, and replay failures long after they should be forgotten. These voices often stem from past experiences, moments when failure stung, rejection hurt, or criticism lingered. They root themselves deeply, forming narratives that shape how you see yourself and what you believe you're capable of achieving. These saboteurs wear many masks. Sometimes they are the perfectionist, demanding unattainable standards and paralyzing you with fear of imperfection. At other times, they're the critic, magnifying your flaws and diminishing your strengths. They can even be the cynic, convincing you that hope and ambition are naive. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to disarming them. You must ask yourself, what voice dominates when I'm on the verge of growth? What stories have these saboteurs told me that I've blindly believed? Combating these inner enemies requires a delicate balance of confrontation and compassion. Denying their existence only strengthens their hold. Instead, acknowledge their presence and question their validity. For example, When the voice of self-doubt arises, ask, is this fear based on reality or assumption? What evidence supports or refutes it? By challenging these voices with logic and self-awareness, you weaken their influence and reclaim control. Another powerful tactic is reframing. The inner saboteurs often exaggerate the risks of failure while ignoring its rewards. Reframe their warnings by focusing on the potential growth and lessons that come from stepping outside your comfort zone. Instead of fearing failure, see it as a stepping stone to mastery. Instead of shrinking from criticism, view it as an opportunity to refine and improve. Reframing doesn't silence the saboteurs, but it renders their arguments powerless. To truly disarm these inner saboteurs, you must replace them with empowering voices. Cultivate an inner ally, a voice that encourages, motivates, and reminds you of your resilience. This isn't about blind positivity, it's about grounding yourself in truth. Celebrate your progress, however small, and remind yourself of past victories. When faced with self-doubt, anchor yourself in the evidence of your capability. This inner ally, over time, will grow stronger, outshining the voices of sabotage. The final piece of this battle lies in consistent action. Inner saboteurs thrive on inaction because every delayed decision, avoided challenge, or abandoned goal validates their doubts. Action disrupts this cycle. Each step forward, no matter how small, weakens their grip and strengthens your resolve, even in moments of fear or uncertainty. Moving forward proves that you can act despite their presence. The battlefield of the mind is not conquered in a single day. It's a lifelong commitment to self-awareness, growth, and resilience. But as you confront and transform these inner saboteurs, you'll find that the war within becomes less a source of conflict and more a crucible for strength. Picture the battlefield again, but this time the chaos has calmed. The voices of doubt and fear still linger, but they no longer dictate your movements. You stand tall, aware of their presence but unshaken by their influence. The enemy has not disappeared. It has been understood, transformed, and integrated into your strength. Ask yourself now, what voice has held you back the most? Is it the critic, the doubter, or the perfectionist? Name it, confront it, and take action to disarm it. Begin by reframing one recurring negative thought into a statement of empowerment. For example, "I'm not ready" becomes "I'm prepared enough to begin." The battle within will always be part of your journey, but it doesn't have to define your story. By facing your saboteurs head-on and transforming them into allies, you gain the power to command your thoughts, actions, and destiny. The war within becomes your proving ground, and through it, you emerge unshakable. Are you ready to face your greatest opponent and win? Chapter 4: The Strength of Vulnerability, Redefining Masculinity. Imagine a fortress built with walls so thick, no one can penetrate them. At first, it seems invincible, a symbol of power and strength. But over time, those walls become its prison. Nothing enters and nothing leaves. This is what happens when men mistake invulnerability for strength, equating emotional suppression with resilience. The truth is, true power isn't found in fortifying yourself against the world but in engaging with it fully, raw, open, and authentic. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is courage. It is the act of stepping into the unknown, exposing yourself to risk and yet standing firm in who you are. Vulnerability is the bridge between strength and connection, the foundation of authentic masculinity. It allows you to embrace challenges, foster meaningful relationships, and face life with clarity and confidence. To redefine masculinity is to see that vulnerability is not something to fear but something to wield. Men have long been conditioned to believe that vulnerability is their enemy. From a young age, boys are taught to toughen up, to hide their tears, and to avoid showing weakness at all costs. This conditioning creates a damaging cycle where men suppress their emotions, isolating themselves emotionally and mentally. They carry the weight of unspoken fears, unprocessed pain, and unmet needs, all while projecting an illusion of control and strength. Over time, these suppressed feelings fester, manifesting as anger, anxiety, or a profound sense of disconnection. But what if vulnerability isn't a crack in your armor, but the very thing that strengthens it? Vulnerability allows you to confront your deepest fears and acknowledge your humanity. It is the key to understanding your emotions rather than being controlled by them. To feel deeply and express openly isn't a sign of weakness. It's the mark of a man who knows himself and has the courage to stand in his truth. The strength of vulnerability lies in its transformative power. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you create space for growth. By admitting your struggles, you gain the clarity to address them. By sharing your fears, you discover that you're not alone. Vulnerability fosters connection, and through connection, you build resilience. Consider the moments in your life when someone shared their struggles with you. Did you think less of them, or did you respect their honesty? The same is true for you. When you open up, you don't diminish yourself. You show strength and inspire others to do the same. Embracing vulnerability requires confronting the fear of judgment. Many men avoid opening up because they worry it will expose them to criticism or rejection. But the truth is, vulnerability isn't about seeking approval from others. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of pretense. When you stop fearing what others think and start valuing your authenticity, you reclaim your power. You no longer live under the shadow of societal expectations or false personas. Instead, you stand as you are, flawed, human, and whole. Practical vulnerability doesn't mean baring your soul to everyone. It means choosing the right moments and people to share your truth with. Start small. Acknowledge your fears to yourself first. Write them down, speak them aloud, or confide in someone you trust. Over time, you'll find that vulnerability becomes a strength you can wield with confidence. It becomes a tool for building deeper relationships, making better decisions, and confronting life's challenges with courage and authenticity. To redefine masculinity is to embrace a duality: strength and sensitivity, power and openness. The strongest men aren't those who suppress their emotions, but those who can navigate them with mastery. They can confront fear, admit failure, and lean into discomfort without losing their sense of self. They understand that vulnerability isn't a liability, it's a superpower. It disarms conflict, deepens understanding, and builds unshakable inner strength. Picture a mountain. Its strength doesn't come from resisting the elements but from enduring them. Rain erodes its surface and winds shape its form, yet it stands firm, grounded, and unyielding. This is the essence of vulnerability, allowing life to shape you without breaking your core. Ask yourself, what emotions have you avoided facing, and how have they impacted your life? What fears have you suppressed that are now controlling you? Vulnerability begins with honesty, with yourself first and others second. It is not about exposing every wound, but about owning your story and finding the courage to share it when it matters most. Take a moment today to practice vulnerability. Start small. Acknowledge a fear, admit a mistake, or share a struggle with someone you trust. Notice how it feels not to carry the weight alone. Notice the strength it takes to open up and the relief that follows. True masculinity isn't about hiding behind walls. It's about having the courage to step beyond them. Are you ready to redefine what strength means to you? Are you ready to embrace vulnerability as the key to your growth and power? Chapter 5: The Weight of Comparison, Escaping the Trap of Measuring Up. Imagine standing in a vast open plain, gazing at the horizon. The view is breathtaking, but instead of moving forward, you constantly glance to your sides, measuring how far others have traveled. While you pause to compare their progress to yours, your feet stay planted. The horizon you could be pursuing grows no closer. This is the weight of comparison. It slows you down, diverts your focus, and saps your joy. It convinces you that your worth depends on how you measure up to others, rather than the distance you've traveled toward your own goals. Comparison is a thief. It steals your peace, undermines your confidence, and blinds you to your unique path. But what if you stopped looking to the sides and focused solely on the horizon ahead? Your journey is yours alone. It's time to shift your focus from measuring up to others and instead measure progress by your own growth and purpose. Comparison begins early. As children, we're measured against siblings, classmates, and societal standards. Are we smart enough? Fast enough? Strong enough? These comparisons are ingrained into our thinking, and as we grow older, the stakes only seem to rise. Social media, career milestones, and the curated lives of others bombard us with endless opportunities to measure ourselves against someone else's achievements. But the truth is, comparison doesn't reveal your worth, it distorts it. When you compare yourself to others, you're not seeing the full picture. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes struggles to their highlight reel. You see their victories but not their sacrifices, their smiles but not their sleepless nights. This distorted view leads to feelings of inadequacy, as though you're always falling short. But the reality is, everyone's path is different. Their achievements don't diminish yours. Their progress doesn't define your potential. The weight of comparison is self-imposed, and you have the power to set it down. The danger of comparison lies in how it shifts your focus. Instead of building your own success, you become preoccupied with what others are building. This distraction dilutes your energy, leaving less for the goals and dreams that matter most to you. It also breeds resentment, either toward those you envy or toward yourself for not measuring up. Neither of these emotions serves your growth. In fact, they act as barriers, preventing you from fully embracing your own journey. To escape the trap of comparison, you must shift your perspective from external validation to internal progress. Start by defining success on your own terms. What does a fulfilled life look like to you? Not to your peers, your parents, or society, but to you. When you have a clear vision of what truly matters to you, the achievements of others become less relevant. Their path isn't your path, and their goals aren't your goals. By focusing on your own values and aspirations, you reclaim control over your narrative. You're no longer running someone else's race, you're walking your own path with purpose. Gratitude is another powerful antidote to comparison. When you focus on what you have, rather than what others have, you shift your energy from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude reminds you of your unique blessings, talents, and opportunities. It helps you see that your worth isn't determined by what you lack, but by what you cultivate. A simple practice of daily gratitude, writing down 3 things you're thankful for, can transform your mindset and free you from the grip of comparison. Finally, remember that growth isn't a straight line. Progress isn't always visible, and success doesn't always come with fanfare. Just because someone else's achievements seem more visible doesn't mean they're more valuable. Your journey is valid, whether it's slow and steady or marked by sudden leaps. Celebrate your milestones, however small, and trust that you're moving forward. Your worth isn't found in how you compare to others. It's found in your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Comparison is a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. When you stop looking to others for validation, you gain the freedom to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your values, your vision. The weight of comparison is heavy, but you have the strength to set it down and walk forward with clarity and purpose. Take a moment to reflect. Who or what do you compare yourself to most often? And how has it affected your confidence and focus? What would happen if, starting today, you measured your success by your own progress rather than someone else's achievements? You don't need to run faster than others. You just need to keep moving toward your horizon. Your journey is yours alone, and that's what makes it powerful. So let go of the weight of comparison. Celebrate your progress, focus on your path, and trust that the horizon will come closer with every step you take. What will you choose to focus on today, their journey or your own? Chapter 6: The Cost of Silence, Finding and Using Your Voice. Imagine standing on the shore of a turbulent sea, the waves crashing against the rocks with a deafening roar. You hold a conch shell in your hand, a vessel through which your voice could rise above the noise, commanding attention and respect. But instead, you let it fall, leaving your thoughts and desires swallowed by the cacophony around you. This is the cost of silence: your needs unheard, your truth unspoken, and your power diminished. Silence can feel like safety, a way to avoid conflict or rejection. But over time, it becomes a prison, locking away your strength and robbing you of the ability to shape your reality. Men often learn to suppress their voices. We're taught that silence is stoicism, that withholding our feelings is strength, and that speaking out makes us vulnerable. But true strength comes not from muting ourselves, but from mastering the art of assertive expression. Your voice is your power. Without it, you drift, at the mercy of others' decisions and desires. It's time to reclaim that power, to let your voice be heard, and to create the life you deserve. Silence often begins as a survival mechanism. From an early age, many men are conditioned to suppress their opinions and emotions. Don't rock the boat. Don't appear weak. Don't speak unless spoken to. This conditioning becomes internalized, leading to a lifetime of avoiding confrontation, suppressing feelings, and ignoring our own needs. But what we fail to realize is that silence doesn't just protect us, it also isolates us. It creates a barrier between who we are and the world around us, leaving us disconnected and unfulfilled. The cost of silence manifests in countless ways. Relationships suffer when unspoken frustrations fester. Careers stagnate when we fail to advocate for ourselves. Dreams die when we're too afraid to share them. Each unspoken word, each withheld opinion, is a missed opportunity to influence, connect, and grow. Over time, this silence erodes self-respect. We begin to believe that our thoughts don't matter, that our needs aren't valid, and that our voice holds no power. But the truth is, your voice is one of your greatest tools for creating change, in your life and in the world around you. Using your voice doesn't mean shouting over others, or dominating every conversation. It means speaking with clarity, confidence, and purpose. It means knowing when to stand firm, and when to listen, when to express vulnerability, and when to assert boundaries. Assertive communication is a skill, one that requires practice and patience. Start by recognizing the moments when you stay silent out of fear. What are you afraid will happen if you speak up? Rejection, conflict, failure? These fears, while valid, are often exaggerated. More often than not, speaking up leads to resolution, understanding, and growth. One of the most powerful ways to find your voice is through small, consistent acts of expression. Begin by sharing your thoughts in safe spaces, journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or practicing in front of a mirror. As you build confidence, expand your reach. Speak up in meetings, share your ideas in group settings, and voice your needs in relationships. Each time you use your voice, you strengthen it, building the muscle of self-expression. Remember, your voice isn't just for your benefit, it's also a gift to others. When you speak your truth, you give others permission to do the same. You inspire authenticity and create deeper connections. Silence may feel comfortable, but it's a lonely comfort. True connection and growth come from the courage to speak and be heard. Your voice is your birthright. It's the tool through which you shape your reality, advocate for your needs, and inspire change. Silence may feel safe, but it comes at a cost too great to bear. By reclaiming your voice, you reclaim your power, your purpose, and your connection to the world. Take a moment to reflect. What conversations have you avoided out of fear, and what has that silence cost you? What would change if you chose to speak your truth, even in the face of discomfort? Your voice matters, not just for you, but for the world around you. It's time to pick up the conch shell, to rise above the noise, and to let your voice be heard. Speak with clarity, speak with purpose, speak with courage. The world is waiting to hear you. What will you say? Chapter 7. Balancing Strength and Sensitivity, the Duality of Masculinity. Picture a mighty oak tree, its roots anchoring it firmly into the earth, unshaken by the fiercest winds. Yet its branches stretch skyward with a gentle grace, bending with the breeze to avoid breaking. This is the duality of true strength, unshakable at its core, but flexible and attuned to its surroundings. As men, we are often taught to value strength above all else. Resilience, power, dominance, yet we are rarely taught the importance of sensitivity, the capacity to feel deeply, connect, and respond with empathy. Strength without sensitivity is rigidity, prone to shatter under pressure. Sensitivity without strength is fragility, blown away by the slightest gust. True masculinity lies in mastering both, becoming both the oak's enduring roots and its graceful branches. For generations, society has forced men into narrow definitions of masculinity, equating sensitivity with weakness and strength with hardness. But the truth is, strength and sensitivity are not opposites, they are complementary forces. To embrace both is not to dilute your masculinity, but to elevate it. It is time to redefine what it means to be strong, not as an immovable wall, but as a balanced force of nature, both powerful and compassionate. To understand the harmony between strength and sensitivity, we must first dismantle the myths that pit them against each other. Strength, as it's often portrayed, is about dominance, control, and emotional detachment. Sensitivity, by contrast, is framed as softness, vulnerability, and fragility. But these are shallow definitions born of fear and misunderstanding. True strength is the ability to face adversity without losing your center, and true sensitivity is the courage to remain open in a world that often demands you close yourself off. Together, they form a powerful synergy. Sensitivity is not a weakness, it is a strength disguised. It allows you to connect with others on a profound level, to understand their needs, and to navigate the complexities of relationships. It fosters creativity, intuition, and empathy, all of which are essential for personal and professional success. But without strength, sensitivity can overwhelm you, leaving you vulnerable to exploitation and emotional exhaustion. Strength is what grounds you, giving you the resilience to face challenges and the courage to set boundaries. It keeps you steady in the storm, ensuring that your sensitivity enhances rather than hinders your growth. Many men fear sensitivity because it requires vulnerability. To feel deeply is to risk pain, rejection, and misunderstanding. But avoiding sensitivity out of fear only leads to isolation and emotional stagnation. On the other hand, overindulging in sensitivity without cultivating strength can lead to passivity and a lack of direction. The key is balance, allowing yourself to feel deeply without losing your grounding, and standing strong without closing yourself off. Consider the relationships in your life. Strength allows you to protect and provide, to stand firm in your values and support those you care about. Sensitivity, meanwhile, allows you to truly see and understand others, to communicate effectively, and to build trust. Both are necessary for meaningful connection. A father who is only strong may command respect but struggles to earn his child's love. A leader who is only sensitive may inspire loyalty but struggles to maintain authority. Balance makes both roles not only possible but transformative. To cultivate this balance, start by examining your tendencies. Are you quick to dismiss emotions, yours or others? Do you avoid vulnerability out of fear of appearing weak? Or do you find yourself overly sensitive, overwhelmed by the weight of your emotions or others' expectations? Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward growth. Practice leaning into discomfort. If you resist sensitivity, allow yourself moments of vulnerability. If you resist strength, challenge yourself to stand firm in your beliefs and boundaries. One powerful way to integrate strength and sensitivity is through intentional communication. When faced with conflict, resist the urge to react impulsively. Instead, ground yourself with strength, then approach the situation with sensitivity. Listen fully before responding. Express your thoughts clearly, but with compassion. This balance not only resolves conflicts more effectively, but also deepens your relationships, fostering mutual respect and understanding. The duality of masculinity is not limited to relationships. It extends to your personal growth and decision-making. Strength gives you the discipline to pursue your goals, while sensitivity allows you to adapt and refine your approach. Together, they create a dynamic force that propels you forward, resilient and responsive in the face of change. Strength and sensitivity are not competing forces, they are two sides of the same coin. Like the oak tree, you must be deeply rooted yet flexible, strong enough to withstand the storms of life yet sensitive enough to adapt and grow. Embracing this duality is not a sign of weakness but of wisdom, for it takes great courage to balance power with compassion, resilience with vulnerability. Ask yourself, where in your life have you neglected sensitivity in favor of strength, or vice versa? What relationships or challenges could benefit from a more balanced approach? Strength without sensitivity is cold and distant, while sensitivity without strength is scattered and uncertain. But together, they create harmony, enabling you to navigate life with purpose and grace. The world needs men who embody this balance, men who can lead with conviction and connect with empathy, who can stand firm yet remain open. Be that man. Become the oak tree, unshakable yet graceful, commanding both respect and love. Strength and sensitivity are your greatest allies. Embrace them, and you will become an unstoppable force. Chapter 8. Reclaiming Time, Escaping the Productivity Trap. Time is the one resource that cannot be earned, borrowed, or replaced. Yet many men live as if it is infinite, allowing it to slip through their fingers like grains of sand. Imagine time as a flowing river, constant and unstoppable. You can either harness its current to power your journey, or let it drift by while you stand idly on the banks. The modern world thrives on distractions, pulling you into the illusion of productivity while quietly robbing you of focus and purpose. Reclaiming time is not about doing more. It's about aligning your actions with your values, ensuring that each moment carries weight and meaning. The productivity trap is the siren's call of busyness without progress. Society rewards activity over achievement, convincing you that being busy is the same as being effective. But productivity without purpose is a hollow pursuit, leaving you exhausted yet unfulfilled. To escape this trap, you must redefine your relationship with time. It is not a burden or a race. It is a tool, a canvas on which you can create a life of significance. The question is, will you command it, or will you let it command you? The first step to reclaiming your time is recognizing where it goes. Most people spend their days in a fog of unconscious habits, unaware of how much time is squandered on meaningless tasks. Social media scrolling, mindless email checks, and endless to-do lists dominate the day, leaving little room for the actions that truly matter. The modern world has weaponized distraction, pulling you into cycles of consumption and busyness that feel productive but achieve nothing of real value. To break free, you must shine a light on these hidden time thieves and confront them with deliberate action. Consider your daily routines. How much of your time is spent on autopilot, doing what feels urgent rather than what is important? The key to reclaiming time is prioritization. Not everything that demands your attention deserves it. Start by identifying your core values and aligning your schedule with them. What truly matters to you? What goals, relationships, and pursuits bring meaning to your life? These are the anchors that should guide your time, ensuring that your days are spent building a life that reflects your purpose. Reclaiming time also requires embracing the power of saying no. For many, the fear of disappointing others leads to an overloaded schedule filled with obligations that drain energy and distract from personal goals. But every yes to something unimportant is a no to something meaningful. Learning to set boundaries is not selfish, it's essential for living a life of integrity. When you protect your time, you protect your ability to grow, create, and contribute in ways that matter. A practical strategy for escaping the productivity trap is to focus on fewer, more impactful actions. Instead of spreading your energy across countless tasks, channel it into the few that truly move the needle. This is the principle of essentialism, doing less but doing it better. Imagine your efforts as a magnifying glass focusing sunlight. When dispersed, the light is harmless, but when concentrated, it ignites a fire. Your time works the same way. Concentrate it, and it becomes a powerful force for transformation. Time management tools can help, but they are only as effective as the mindset behind them. A well-organized calendar is meaningless if it's filled with low-value activities. The true mastery of time comes from intentionality, approaching each day with clarity about what you want to achieve and why it matters. Begin each morning by setting 3 priorities that align with your long-term goals. These are your non-negotiables, the actions that will make the day a success regardless of what else happens. By focusing on these key tasks, you ensure that even a busy day contributes to your larger vision. Another essential practice is creating space for reflection. Amid the rush of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. Regularly stepping back to evaluate how you're spending your time allows you to course correct and ensure alignment with your priorities. Ask yourself, are your actions today bringing you closer to the life you want, or are they pulling you further away? This simple question can reveal where you need to adjust and refocus. Finally, reclaiming time means embracing the power of deep work, periods of intense, undistracted focus on high-value activities. In a world of constant interruptions, deep work is a superpower. It allows you to achieve more in a few concentrated hours than most accomplish in a week of scattered effort. To cultivate this habit, eliminate distractions during your work sessions. Turn off notifications, set clear boundaries with those around you, and immerse yourself fully in the task at hand. The results will speak for themselves, not only in what you achieve, but in the sense of fulfillment that comes from giving your best effort to what matters most. Time is not your enemy. It is your ally, your most valuable asset in the pursuit of a meaningful life. But to harness its power, you must reclaim it from the clutches of distraction and busyness. By prioritizing what truly matters, setting boundaries, and focusing your energy on high-impact actions, you can escape the productivity trap and build a life of purpose and clarity. Ask yourself, where is your time going, and is it taking you closer to the man you want to become? The hours of your day are not infinite, but their impact can be. Every decision you make about how to spend your time is a vote for the life you want to create. Will you choose wisely, or will you let the currents of distraction pull you away from your goals? The river of time flows relentlessly, but you hold the oars. Steer with intention. Choose your direction. And remember, every moment reclaimed is a step closer to the life you deserve. Command your time, and you will command your reality. Chapter 9: The Silent Warrior, Mastering Inner Peace Amid Chaos. Imagine a vast ocean. On the surface, the waves crash and roar, chaotic and relentless, yet beneath the turbulence lies a realm of stillness, undisturbed and calm. The ocean mirrors the human mind. Life's chaos plays out in the waves. Deadlines, relationships, external pressures. But the true strength of a man is found beneath the surface, in the quiet depths of inner peace. It is not the absence of conflict, but the mastery of calm amidst the storm. Inner peace is the silent warrior's shield, allowing him to face chaos without losing control or clarity. The world often equates strength with noise, with bold declarations, aggressive actions, and constant movement. But the greatest warriors know that silence can be more powerful than sound, and stillness can achieve what force cannot. Mastering inner peace is not about retreating from life's demands. It is about standing firm in the storm, unmoved by the chaos around you, and finding strength in the quiet confidence that you are in control. Inner peace begins with awareness. Most men go through life reacting to external circumstances, allowing the chaos around them to dictate their emotions and actions. But reaction is weakness. It places control in the hands of the world instead of your own. The silent warrior understands that peace is not something found in the absence of problems. It is cultivated through deliberate focus, self-mastery, and the ability to detach from the noise. To begin this journey, you must first recognize the triggers that disrupt your calm. Are they rooted in fear, insecurity, a need for validation? Awareness transforms these triggers from hidden saboteurs into challenges you can confront and overcome. The art of mastering inner peace is deeply tied to the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is not a complicated ritual, it is the simple act of being fully present. It is the ability to step back from the noise and observe your thoughts without judgment. Imagine yourself as a mountain, standing firm and unshaken while storms rage around you. The storms are your thoughts, emotions, and external pressures, but they do not define you. You are the mountain, strong, steady, and unmoved. By practicing mindfulness daily, even for a few minutes, you create a foundation of calm that strengthens with time. Breathing is another powerful tool for cultivating inner peace. In moments of stress, your breath becomes shallow, feeding your body's fight or flight response and amplifying feelings of panic or anger. But by taking deep, intentional breaths, you send a signal to your mind and body to relax. Breathing is the anchor that brings you back to the present moment, breaking the cycle of reactive behavior. The next time chaos threatens to overwhelm you, pause, inhale deeply, hold it, and exhale slowly. With each breath, you reclaim control, grounding yourself in calm and clarity. Equally important is the practice of detachment. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means freedom from emotional overinvestment in outcomes you cannot control. The silent warrior accepts what he cannot change and focuses his energy on what he can. Detachment is the art of letting go, not of effort or ambition, but of the need for external validation or guaranteed results. It is understanding that your worth is not determined by what happens around you, but by how you respond to it. This perspective allows you to move through life with a sense of purpose and peace, unaffected by temporary setbacks or external judgments. Silence itself is a powerful tool for mastering inner peace. In a world that bombards you with noise, social media, news, endless opinions, silence becomes a sanctuary. Create moments of intentional silence in your day, even if only for a few minutes. Turn off distractions, step away from the chaos, and allow your mind to rest. In these moments, you will find clarity, insight, and strength that cannot be accessed in the midst of noise. Silence is where the silent warrior sharpens his mind and fortifies his resolve. Inner peace is also rooted in a sense of alignment between your values and actions. The dissonance of living a life out of sync with your true self creates internal chaos. No matter how disciplined you appear externally, take time to reflect on what matters most to you. Are you living in accordance with those values, or are you chasing goals that leave you feeling empty and unfulfilled? Peace comes from knowing that your actions, decisions, and direction are aligned with your deeper purpose. When your internal compass is steady, no storm can shake you. Finally, cultivating inner peace requires the courage to face and embrace discomfort. Many men seek peace by avoiding challenges, conflict, or uncomfortable truths, but avoidance only prolongs chaos. True peace is found on the other side of discomfort, when you face the hard questions, take the difficult actions, and embrace growth even when it's painful. The silent warrior knows that discomfort is temporary, but the strength it builds is eternal. Inner peace is not a gift reserved for the fortunate. It is a skill available to any man willing to cultivate it. It is the foundation of true strength, allowing you to face life's challenges without losing clarity or control. Like the ocean's depths, it is always there waiting for you to dive beneath the surface of chaos and discover its stillness. Mastering inner peace transforms you into a silent warrior, calm, focused, and unshaken, no matter the storm. As you move forward, ask yourself, what disrupts your peace, and how can you take control of it? Are you reacting to life, or are you choosing your responses with intention? Remember, the strongest men are not those who avoid chaos, but those who remain calm within it. Every moment spent cultivating inner peace is a step toward mastering your mind and commanding your reality. You are the mountain in the storm. Stand tall, stay grounded, and let nothing shake the foundation of your inner strength. Chapter 10: The Mastery Blueprint, Turning Struggles into Strength. Picture the blacksmith at work, hammer in hand, striking the glowing metal on the anvil. Each blow sends sparks flying, shaping the raw material into a tool of purpose. The process is violent yet purposeful, chaotic yet controlled. Your struggles are the fire, your will is the hammer. Every challenge, setback, and hardship you face is an opportunity to forge yourself into something stronger, more capable, and more aligned with the man you are destined to become. Mastery is not achieved in comfort. It is born in the heat of struggle, where resilience and purpose collide. Many men see struggles as obstacles, as signs that they are off course. But the truth is far different. Struggles are the blueprint for strength, the foundation on which all mastery is built. Each difficulty you encounter is not a wall, it is a stepping stone, waiting to elevate you to new heights if you are willing to endure the process. The question is not whether you will face challenges, it is how you will rise to meet them. Will you resist the fire and remain unchanged, or will you step into it and let it transform you? Struggles are inevitable, yet they are also the most potent source of growth. The first step in mastering your challenges is reframing how you perceive them. Too often, we are conditioned to view struggle as failure, as something to be avoided at all costs. But in reality, struggle is the training ground for greatness. Look back at your life and consider the moments when you grew the most. Were they during times of ease, or were they born from difficulty and perseverance? Struggles are not roadblocks. They are the forge that refines your character and sharpens your skills. One of the greatest obstacles men face in embracing struggle is the fear of failure. But failure is not the enemy, it is the teacher. Every failure carries with it a lesson, a piece of wisdom that, if embraced, can guide you toward mastery. Consider failure not as a verdict on your abilities, but as feedback. When you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adapt and move forward with greater strength and clarity? By adopting this mindset, you transform failure from a source of shame into a tool for progress. Another key to mastering struggle is cultivating resilience, the ability to endure and recover in the face of adversity. Resilience is not about avoiding pain, it is about standing firm in the storm, knowing that the rain will pass and you will emerge stronger. Building resilience starts with small, intentional actions. Push yourself slightly beyond your comfort zone each day. Embrace discomfort, whether it's through physical challenges, difficult conversations, or tackling tasks you've been avoiding. Each small victory builds your tolerance for hardship, strengthening your mental and emotional armor. Purpose is the compass that guides you through struggle. Without a clear sense of purpose, challenges can feel overwhelming and meaningless. But when your struggles are tied to a greater mission, they become bearable, even empowering. Take time to define your purpose. What are you working toward? What kind of man do you want to become? When your purpose is clear, it acts as a guiding light, illuminating the path through even the darkest moments. With purpose, struggle transforms from a burden into a stepping stone. It is also essential to embrace the power of reflection during times of struggle. In the midst of challenges, it can be tempting to simply push forward without pausing to assess the situation. But reflection is where wisdom is born. Take time to step back and evaluate your struggles. What patterns do you notice? Are there recurring themes or lessons you've been ignoring? Reflection allows you to extract meaning from hardship, turning pain into insight and setbacks into strategies. Finally, understand that mastery is not a destination, it is a continuous journey. There will never be a point where you have arrived. There will always be new challenges, new lessons, and new opportunities to grow. Embrace this reality with humility and curiosity. Each struggle you conquer prepares you for the next, elevating you to higher levels of strength, wisdom, and capability. The moment you stop facing challenges is the moment you stop growing. So welcome struggle as a companion on the path to mastery, not as an adversary to be feared. Struggles are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. They are the fire that tempers your steel, the hammer that shapes your purpose. Each difficulty you face is an opportunity to refine your character, strengthen your will, and move closer to the man you are destined to be. But this transformation is not automatic. It requires intention, resilience, and the willingness to step into the fire rather than run from it. As you reflect on your journey, ask yourself, how have your struggles shaped you? What lessons have they taught you? And how can you apply those lessons moving forward? Mastery is not about avoiding challenges, but about facing them with courage, clarity, and purpose. It is about using every setback as a springboard, every failure as a stepping stone, and every hardship as an opportunity to grow. You hold the hammer, you control the forge. With each blow, you are shaping your reality, transforming struggle into strength and potential into power. This is your journey, your blueprint for mastery. The question is, are you ready to embrace it? The fire awaits. Step in and let it transform you into the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. The man you've always been inside. As the fire dies down and the forge grows quiet, what remains is not the raw, unshaped metal that first entered. It is now something forged with purpose, hammered by struggle, and refined through discipline. This is the essence of mastery, not a single moment of triumph, but the continuous process of shaping yourself, one deliberate action at a time. In the stillness after the storm, you recognize the truth. You have always had the power to command your reality. It was never something you had to acquire, it was something you had to uncover. Life will always present challenges, distractions, and moments of doubt. The difference between a man who commands his reality and one who is commanded by it lies in how he responds. The tools you've gained are not just theories, they are meant for action. Visualization, discipline, focus, vulnerability, and resilience. Each of these principles has equipped you to master your thoughts, conquer your limitations, and move through life with intention. But tools alone are not enough. It is in using them daily that you truly become their master. Think back to where you were before you began this journey. Perhaps you felt trapped by your own mind, overwhelmed by circumstances, or unsure of the direction your life should take. Now you have a map, a framework to navigate the complexities of your inner and outer world. The man you are today is not the same as the one who started this path. You have seen the power of awareness, the strength in discipline, and the clarity that comes from aligning your actions with your purpose. But this is not the end. Mastery is not a destination, it is a lifelong commitment. There will always be new challenges to face, new lessons to learn, and new levels of strength to uncover. The fire of transformation must be fed continually, with every action, decision, and thought aligned with your vision of the man you want to become. This is not a burden. It is the privilege of living a life of purpose and authenticity. As you step forward from here, remember that commanding your reality is not about controlling everything around you. It is about mastering what is within. It is about choosing how you respond to the chaos of the world, shaping your environment to support your growth, and facing every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger. Your reality is a reflection of your inner state. By mastering your mind, you master your world. So now the question remains, what will you do with the power you've uncovered? Will you let it fade into the background, or will you wield it with intention and purpose? The man you've always been inside is waiting to be fully realized, to step into the world with clarity, strength, and conviction. You have everything you need to make this a reality. The tools, the knowledge, the strength, they are all yours. The forge has done its work. The hammer is now in your hands. The fire is yours to ignite. Step into your power, command your reality, create the life you were always meant to live. The time is now. Let nothing stand in your way.